Let's be perfectly clear. What you're about to see isn't a forecast, it's an autopsy. We're examining a system that's already in terminal decline. What follows is just a clinical assessment of the pathology, the trigger event, and, well, the elegant little solution the central planners have waiting in the wings. All right, you can look at 1,000 charts, 1,000,000 data points, but this is the only one that really matters. Negative 87%. That's the United States net international investment position as a percentage of GDP. That's the source of the rot. Everything else we're about to talk about, it's all just a symptom of this. First, the pattern of crisis. Look, if you want to understand what's coming next, you have to recognize the pattern. Every major crisis, and I don't care if it's engineered or just expertly exploited, it always serves one purpose. It's an opportunity for central planners to grab more control. It's an observable historical pattern. And here it is, laid out. It's almost depressingly predictable. A complete financial meltdown. What was the solution? Quantitative easing, a total bailout of the banking system. A global pandemic. The solution? Talk of a great reset to restructure everything. And today, we're living through a major geopolitical shock. The crisis is here, so what do you think the next solution is going to be? They're getting it ready. All right, Section 2, America. America's balance sheet. To really grasp the vulnerability here, why the whole system is so damn fragile, you have to look at the nation's books, and to put it clinically, it's a dumpster fire. So, the net international investment position, or NIIP, you need to understand this. It's the ultimate metric of national solvency. It is simply the country's balance sheet with the rest of the world. It's a ledger, what we own of their stuff versus what they own of our stuff. A positive number means you have a balance sheet, you have influence. A negative number, well, a negative number means they have leverage over you. And this chart just lays the decay bare. Look at it. After the first Gulf War, our NIP was negative 7%. Fine, manageable. After the 2008 crisis, it dropped to negative 15%. Not great, but survivable. And now, after decades of selling off our best assets, our stocks, our real estate, our government bonds, to anyone and everyone with a dollar to spare, it stands at negative 87%. $70 trillion. That's the amount of leverage the rest of the world holds over the United States. That's the ammunition they have in the form of U.S. assets. So what do you think happens when a real crisis hits, say a big oil shock, and they all desperately need dollars at the same time? Where do they get them? They sell. They dump our stocks, our bonds, our treasuries. This isn't a theory. It's already started. Okay, part 3, the debt death spiral. This is the catalyst. This is where a chronic condition, all that debt, meets an acute geopolitical shock, and that is exactly what kicks off the death spiral. This is the number you need to burn into your brain, 4.6 to 4.8%. That's the danger zone for the 10-year Treasury yield. It's the tripwire. See, as foreigners dump all those treasuries, the yields have to go up to attract new buyers. But once they hit this range, the interest payments on America's, $40 trillion of debt, they become mathematically unsustainable. The government literally can't afford them. And that's when the spiral truly begins.
So policymakers get to a point where they have 3 doors in front of them. Let's be clear, these aren't choices. They're just 3 different paths to ruin. It's a choose-your-poison scenario. Door number 1, let yields rise. Let the market do its thing. The result? A global depression, a market collapse, and the debt spiral accelerates. Door number 2, print money. Fire up the QE machine, save the bond market, and ignite runaway inflation. Or door number 3, retreat geopolitically. Just pack it in. The result is a Suez moment, the end of the dollar's dominance, and guess what? Massive inflation anyway. So, which door do you think they'll pick? It's not even a question. History is crystal clear on this. They will always choose to print. Always. The money printer is going to go brrr. Another round of quantitative easing is completely inevitable. But in this is the absolutely critical distinction. Not all QE is created equal. The first type, the 2008 version, was basically an intra-bank bailout. The Fed bought garbage assets from the banks. The money stayed trapped inside the financial plumbing. It wasn't inflationary for you and me. But Type 2, the 2020 version, was a public market bailout. The Fed bought assets from corporations, from non-banks. That new money flooded the real economy. And what happened 18 months later? 9% inflation. The next round of QE will be Type 2, on steroids. And what's the inevitable result of pumping trillionaires, of pumping trillions of freshly printed dollars into an economy that's already reeling from a supply shock? You get this: stagflation. It's a simple, miserable formula: slowing economic growth, high unemployment, and soaring prices. It is quite literally the worst of all possible worlds. Okay, Section 4, the digital distribution. So that's the setup. You have a massive economic crisis, which conveniently demands a drastic solution. So now we pivot to the opportunity this crisis creates for the planners. It's their proposed answer to their two biggest problems. And I'll give them this: it's an elegant design. It's just also completely dystopian. So from the central planner's point of view, they're facing two converging existential threats. Problem 1, nearly $40 trillion in unmanageable government debt that's just growing exponentially. And problem 2, the rise of AI, which is about to create a massive class of people with, let's just say, too much free time on their hands.
A large idle population is a management problem, especially when the system they might start to question is already broken. The old method of dealing with the debt was simple. You exported your inflation. You sold treasury bonds to foreign central banks in China and Japan. The problem is, they're losing their appetite for our debt. So the new method is a total paradigm shift. Instead of selling the debt to other countries, you distribute it. You privatize and upload the U.S. debt directly onto the balance sheets of corporations and ultimately individuals. Okay, so the new system is a system of creditors. They're going to put their money right into the digital wallets they already have in their pockets. And who are the new creditors in this system? Well, look at the list. Apple, Tesla, Amazon, Google, every airline, every retailer, every major tech platform. They all become banks. They'll offer you slick digital wallets with great yields, cash back, all the rewards. But here's the catch. Behind the scenes, they will be mandated to back a portion of those customer deposits with U.S. Treasury bonds. Just like that, every single person with a smartphone becomes an unwieldy asset, and most likely an unknowing creditor to the U.S. government. And before you write this off as some kind of futuristic conspiracy theory, you need to understand it has already been beta tested at massive scale. Look at the company Tether. It's a stablecoin. Issuer, right now it holds over $120 billion in U.S. treasuries. That makes a single crypto company a larger creditor to the U.S. than most countries. Tether wasn't an anomaly. It was the proof of concept. Which brings us to part 5, a financial control grid. See, this elegant new system of distributed debt, it solves the government's funding crisis, but it also creates something else, maybe as a byproduct. Maybe that was the point all along. It creates a comprehensive financial control grid, a system built for total surveillance and control, just in case. So that's the real question here, isn't it? Convenience or control? Because this is the end game. They'll sell it to you as a miracle of modern convenience. You'll get better yields, instant payments, discounts, your money will be safe.
But all that convenience is just the bait. It's the cheese in the most sophisticated financial trap ever designed. Because in this new world, your entire financial existence can be reduced to a single line of code: Wallet.freeze. And again, this isn't a theory. Tether has already used this power, freezing wallets on command from government agencies. They have a switch, and they can flip it. They can simply turn your money off. And just think about the granular level of control this enables. Your funds could be programmed to not work on weekends. Your purchases could be restricted if you buy too much of an unapproved item like gasoline or meat. Your access could be denied because of your social media posts. Your transactions are blocked because you failed to comply with some new mandate. You have to understand, this stops being about money. It becomes about managing your behavior. So what's the protocol here? What's the protocol for self-preservation in this kind of environment? It's not complicated. Catherine Aston Fitz said it best: secure real assets, use physical cash, build a local community, skill up. The system they are building is designed for maximum complexity and control. Your countermove, then, has to be radical simplicity.